Hi everybody, thanks for watching. Shout out to New Stock Brothers, Massimo MP Slots, Raoul Conquest Racing, Nico Slot Car Dude. This video is going to be fitting the chip, the F1 chip, retrofit chip C7005 into an actual F1 car. I've done a few videos of fitting them in saloon cars and GT cars and other cars that can't take a standard chip, standard 815 chip. No, anyway, I forgot the number of that. But that's so this microprocessor is actually designed to fit a retro F1 car, like these from time gone by, that were before the digital era. So I'll get one for this at a later date. But this, so for today's video is going to be fitting it to this Lewis Hamilton McLaren that MP Slots bought me over at weekend. Good lad he is. So we'll get cracked on with this, take chassis off. I'll just find me other screwdrivers. Alright, so this set of screwdrivers is a smaller shaft compared to this one, so I can't get that down. Can't get that down to me. Get that down to screw properly. Whereas that goes in. This one goes in everything. So I haven't had this car to bits before, so I don't know what it's going to be like inside. I've got to decide where I'm going to put my chip, how I'm going to fit it in. I have tested it on analog, because with the Art Pro system you can run analog and digital. So I'm hoping that everything will come out alright with this. The spoilers off. Where's that little pig in screw? I think there's a screw in there. Oh, there's one here. Still not coming. Alright, so oops. Oh. Looks like we've got a special motor in this. We've got a red cam motor. That's not a standard motor. Right, we've got a bit of a problem now then, because I don't know what specs this will run to. I don't know if that motor will be powered. Will run that. There's nothing on the box saying what the limit is, what the motor limit is. Get the instructions out, see if that says out. So we've got a you got a diagrams booklet and you've got a fitting instructions or instructions. Right, so there's your diagrams. And then we've got diagrams on the back of how to fit or where to put the microprocessor. Just in that side pod there, look. I think I have to give Scalextric a quick bell to see what score is with that. Don't bother with them. I don't read stuff, so I'm not going to bother reading that. Can't bother. I've fitted plenty of them. Right, I think I have to employ me Yorkshire Tea billboard box for to get this, put this safe, my body shell safe, until I get on blower to put my screws in there. I have to get on blower to Scalextric and see what score is with that. Right, so that's shelved. Let's try again. So we'll go with David Coulthard, McLaren Mercedes. Try this one. Oops. Right, that front suspension's a bit fiddly, a bit tricky. Somebody's had this shell off because that's over tight. That screw's well over tight. Ah. That's how that comes off. Just the back. The engine cover comes off on the engine cover on the real car, motor cover on this car, and that's front end off, and that drops the screw out. Right, so we'll pull David out, shall we, or shall we leave him in, because he's not coming out. Right, the other problem we've got with chipping this particular car is the guider's not an easy fit guider. The guide blade is a clipper, is a clip one. We'll pull the front suspension off, and you can see there, look, 2 screws at wipers onto the guider, and then wires run down to the motor. So I think we'll remove the motor. Just dig your screwdriver on the back to unclip it from the back, from around the bush end of the motor, and then you got to lift it and squeeze it off. There's 2 hooks in the chassis, there and there, which go into these points here and here. So we'll unpick that, unpick these wires. We'll take this will we take that off, or shall we not? Now we'll try and squeeze this out. Yep, that's out. So this is not going to be a straightforward swap. There's a lot to strip out of there to get that out. I'll just put my power on. Right, so while soldering iron's warming up, get chip out at the packet. Done that on floor for now. So on Savers guides. So that's two chips with the guide clips. Now they're all the same. That full box is all full same chips. So you get 4 in a packet, and that's full of them. So you can see how many chips I've fitted. How many of these chips I've fitted to Sky Electric cars. Absolutely hundreds of pigging things. So the other thing you've got to do as well is pull these wires out of here. When you take your screws out, don't forget your screw length. See, that's only a right short little screw compared to your body screws, which are a lot longer. So you need to remember which screws go where. So when you took your screws out, you need to look and think, that screws from there, that screws from there, so on and so on. They're all different lengths. Right, so that's motor out with suppressor on, and that, and then that's his empty chassis. And they've got those 2 wipers are still on there, so I'll have to take that guide off. And we've got 2 little eyelets. That ends up wires which are screwed down. So what we're going to do is cut. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these wires off here. I've got to drill my hole for my LED. I've got to solder my wires on to my motor. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, because we haven't got much room down here to mount this, all this capacitor and everything, this suppressor, whatever it is, I think I'm going to have to, well, no, we've got to cut them off. So I think what I'm going to have to do is chop these wires here and swap them round so that they go down to my eyelets at the front here, and then these 2 will join back onto there. Mind you, they're thinner. They're thinner wires than these wires. What to do? That's hot now. So obviously don't touch the end of your soldering iron with your bare hands, because you're gonna get hurt. It's gonna burn you. I was just seeing how hot that was by feeling heat coming off it. and you just put your solder in, look, you can see that that's hot enough. So just wind. You don't really want to do any soldering while your stuff's inside your car, because your heat transfer can melt your plastic on stuff. So if I just nip that bush end in there, get a pair of pliers. Right. So you just grab your wire. I'll hold it down with my thumb then. You just pull it back while you've got your heat on, then it unsolders off of there. Do the same on this end, like that. That's that bit off. So these eyelets, what am I going to do with these eyelets? If I lay that microprocessor there, look, then wire's going to fit on end there, that capacitor's on his legs. So and that's a press or whatever it is. Right, if I cut that off, just cut that sheathing off, that heatsink tubing off there. Be careful not to cut through anything else or your fingers. Right, so that's that off. I run this, send this off, this sheathing. Right, that is just soldered onto there. These wires are soldered onto the end of this capacitor here. So if I drop that off there, and do the same with this wire. Cut that sheathing, that heatsink tubing off. Heatsink tubing is better than the insulation tape, better than the black nasty stuff. Insulation tape's a bit of a bodge. You want to be using heatsink tubing because it creates a perfect seal. You can get all different ranges of heatsink tubing. You can get waterproof type ones and all sorts. So that's, take that one off. put these in me to be used again into my digital wiring tub. So that's got rid of a bit of a length out of the wires already. So I could take this off, if we take this capacitor off altogether, take that black spacer off, just grip that in my vise. All that sold up, pull that one off. Pull that one off. Right. So we need this. This has got to be refitted. But I'm just shorting the wires by a long way. So that now will fit. My chip now will fit in there and I can solder my eyelets onto them. So I'll take my eyelets off. Take the eyelets off of these wires. I can just solder it straight onto this wire. One eyelet transferred. Do the same again. Pull this eyelet off. Transfer it onto that one. Put a bit of solder into that one because there's not as much solder on that other one. Right, so that's that done. So we're getting there now. We've got his eyelets on. We've still got my LED to put in. We've got his wires sold onto his motor. And we've got his capacitor to fit, or is it transistor, whatever it is. So we'll slide his insulation tube thing back on. And I think, because we've got Mr. Driver just there, Mr. David Coulthard, and this chip needs to be in that sort of position there. Oops, so we need to put that bit back in. Those wires can go around there and there. So there's a nice decent sized gap here behind old David Coulthard. So I'll refit that capacitor around here area. So then I've got more room for my wires. I'll get my wire strippers. So with these wire strippers, squeeze them together, strips wire. But these wires are only thin and you can snap them very easily. You don't squeeze it fully together, you just do it so it just splits the wire. Let's go all the way around. We'll do it so it just strips the wire. That's your copper wires bared, just there, look. We'll take a scalpel blade and we pierce the wire, you just break the strands apart with a scalpel, and then we slide his capacitor through the hole. capacitor resistor, I don't know, whatever it is. So now that's connected there like so. And then what we do is we twist the wire around to bring strands together. Make sure there's wires in parallel with this wire. And then we get as, I see it as liquid flux. You get a bit of scrap wood off your bench and just dip it in and dip it on. Just wipe a bit of salt, a bit of flux onto your wire, like so. Make sure that's all right way round, and then get my solder. Just touch that on there. So that's now soldered on, and it's insulated with that rubber block. So we can cut that leg off now. In fact, I've got snips here. So we just cut that leg off like that, and that's that one sorted. And then do the same with other wire. Just pierce copper strands, so you've got like half of it if you can. So you've got half it one way and half it other way. Shove your wire through. Shove your leg through off your thingy. Twist your wire. You can put a bit of flux it again. Put a bit of solder on your solder iron, and just touch that in. And solder runs where the flux has cleaned your metal, and then you can clip that off. So that is that jobby. So we've moved the capacitor back into wiring loom. We've changed wires to screw into the yonder. So now all we've got to do, I think, is just get a bit of heat shrink tubing and re-heat shrink it. Just that, like I cut that heat shrink off before. I'm just going to get some tube. Get a biggish bit. See how that works out for us. 5 bites into your pants and all that. Just put that across the end. Use your heat from your solder iron, and you'll see it start shrinking. Do a bit at a time on either side. Just run your iron round. Just so that if there's any metal surfaces, you're not going to blow your chip to smithereens. Right, so that's nearly all soldering done. So we've just got to solder his wires onto his motor. So because that's already been soldered, you don't really need to use flux again. That's one on. That's two on. The thing with when you're soldering these, you've got to be really quick with your soldering iron. You do not want to linger with your soldering iron. If you take too long on it, the heat transfer and you start melting you start melting stuff really quickly. And if you melt stuff don't work. So that's all the soldering done for the chip. So we can put that back and put motor back in. That'll just I'll give me little bushes a bit of an oiling. Wherever that's, oh, it's there, look. Just drop a drop of oil on either bearing. Give it a quick spin. That's a lot better now, that. A lot freer. So the motor, you got your oil and the armature there. You see oil on end at pen. That's enough oil. You don't know more than that. Because if you get load of oil in it, goes onto bushers inside the armature, and that's it, good night Vienna, motor's knackered. And you don't want to be doing all this work and knackering your motor. So now it'll run a lot better now it's been cleaned and dried. So you hook your motor back in, two little hooks, and then clip it down into there. So want to run his chip in there. That chip wants to go somewhere like that, I think. In fact I need to get some back insulation tape for that. There's a bit of back insulation tape. Just stick it on the back of your chip like that. And just wrap edges round. Excuse me. That's so that when you put your chip to the back of your motor and your gap that Sky Electric have kindly provided you, right, so I've put my chip in at side of DCZ. Got my wires in there. I can run these wires down to my front. I've got the LED. So I've got this badger, this thing here. Now clips into that like that. So if I'll just test fit this back, make sure this back fits on, which it doesn't. Right, so that don't fit in there now, because that chip's a bit big for that hole. So we're going to have to remove let's get some tape, a bit more tape on that. So it looks like we're going to have to remove some of that plastic so we can get that to go down. So we can get that chip to go down a bit further. So you want to go through there. Oh, do we? In fact, we don't have to move anything if I fit it properly. Now that fits in there just nice. Right, so we need to drill that front end for his. Right, so now we need to drill this plastic for his feet. So just that's gone through the base to drill through this. That's marked that to get me all in there. So now I've got to get DCs that through there, which that won't go through there, will it? Or will it? Put that into there. So that can go there through his legs. Like that. Alright, so that's nice and flat. That all fits in there nice. We'll warm the the glue gun up. Right, so the thing with a glue gun is it's not a permanent, it is permanent but it's not, it's semi-permanent if you like. It's strong enough to hold it, and but it's not strong enough, but you can remove it if you need to remove it. Right, so I'll just put my screws in there, and it'll these little stubbies. Just want to get those wires. Right, so that's that one in. Put my wiper in. Pull that back off of there because that don't made in. Right, put that wiper in there. Where's my screw gone? Damn it. Right. So I've now got them screwed in. Them two wipers screwed in, so now I can glue my LED in. The sensor LED, should I say. Right. So I don't want to be putting a shed load of glue on here. I only put just enough glue on just to hold it. And that's that. That's just enough glue just in here just to hold that down. And then I'll just put my wires in. You put your wires in the same glue while it's still warm like it is. I'll just hold them in place. And then just shove these wires gently as you go. Just shove them wires down underneath body there. Underneath DC's torso. And I've cocked up an eye, because that goes in. See if we can. Alright, what I'm going to have to do is make DC's leg a little bit shorter, I think. So he's now an amputee. Sorry, mate. It had to happen. And pull some of this glue out that was just cut off. Alright, so can bend that where his leg was. We can bend that down there. Pull these wires in. I'm going to shove that and putting that down. So that needs to go all the way back to there, look. So I think what we might have to do is shove this over underneath the wires. I mean, it will have to get it out. So now I've put this stuff in the way. It's even bigger if I have to get it back in. Right, that's back in. Right, that's the wires in around it. Right, so that can now go back down how it's come out. So that's annoying. Right, so my wires are trapped for LED around there. So when you come to do yours, make sure this part, these wings are in before you put your LED in. So this will just prove my theory. The heat glue just holds it steady. It's not like a permanent, it's not a permanent fixture. Pull that back out. Right, that's my LED back out. So a lesson to be learned here is when you're doing a McLaren with the chip, make sure these wings are back in, because you need to hold your front, that holds your front suspension together, and if that ain't in, you can't put your front suspension back in. So we'll refit that in a minute. Right, put his legs back in. Put that trim back in under his legs. Right, so then put your LED in over top. Over top of your, over top of your, over top of that fin. Put your trim back in underneath that you've drilled out. That's all that up back together. Now put your glue in. Just enough over edge to hold that down. And pull your wires round. put that capacitor under there. This insulation tape's doing my head in. It's not sticking. So then I need to put us take these back out. Oh, that's really awkward. That's really, really awkward. They need to go in under there first. Right, so I've got the front, I managed to get front suspension in and all the other stuff in. The front suspension in, the wires round and everything. But with this, there's this, where I've got that lined up, I've got to trim back these two bits of plastic off this body. So what I need to do is get my little whizzer out. I need to get my little whizzer out and just clean these off. So them bits of plastic I've just cleaned off could sit behind David's body. So because I've got stuff there now, because I've got wire in there, this front nose don't fit very well. So I've just got to trim them back to get that in. So get that down, and that's all gone down lovely now. That, so you can see in this gap here, just here, where that capacitor thing is, that's where that needs to go. Right, so we can put a screw back in the front to hold that nose cone in position, and that holds front suspension and them side wings and everything. So when you're driving your cars and you're crashing them around track, just bear in mind how things go together. They're not overly strong, these things put together. Right, so now we can shove that chip in there. So now I'm hoping that I can get that in. Oh. Right, that's it then. That's that all down. No, it isn't. So that's not in there very well, this side pod. So I'll just cut that tape off that end. Let's try that. Right, so I just need to trim a little bit of this plastic away, just to allow my chip to fit in there. Right, so just trimmed out that bit of plastic up there. So that should just allow us enough room just to get that in. So these things are really tight, these. Very, very tight. Right, so that's the body on. That's all back together. That was not easy, but I've done it now. And I've just noticed something's missing. No, air duct's missing off of there. I didn't notice it was missing before. Right, we'll put it on track. Give it a whirl, see if she works. Program the chip in. Hopefully that's all going to work fine. Right, so that's car on track. Press my red button once, twice. Turn my controller on. And it works. Look at that. Right, so we'll go for a lane change on that changer there. No, missed it. Go for a lane changer here. There you go, you see the lane change. Come back round here for this one. Yeah, it did that one then, but I wasn't quick enough. That's me David Coulthard all chipped and done. So next video, chip one of these. I'm joking, not going to chip one of them. I'll never get a chip in there. But that's all, I'm happy with that. Got his lane change. There's lane change back again. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's all doing well. LEDs here. Don't matter about the gap, the 10mm gap and all that. I think I need to change that guide on front, but other than that, that's all bang on. All done. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for my next videos. See you guys. See you later. Bye.